The Jewill Hill family held a prominent place in Penzance in the first part of the 20th century. James Jewill Hill was a respected local solicitor in the firm Jewill Hill and Bennett. This portrait of him by Stanhope Forbes was painted in 1944, when Forbes was in his late 80s and his sitter 10 years younger. The colour palette is dark and sober and shows Jewill Hill seated in front of an imposing fireplace with books and papers around him, looking serious and reflective. Almost 30 years earlier, Jewill Hill had commissioned Harold Harvey to paint his children, Laura and Paul. Laura looks pretty and graceful in her bright blue dress, although she later recalled how tiring and uncomfortable it was standing for so long on one leg. Paul appears to be staring intently at the goldfish, whose bright colour is echoed in the red touches on Laura's hair and mouth and in the colour of the Italian flag which Paul is holding. This celebrates the entry in 1915 of Italy into the Great War on the side of the Allies. On the wall behind the children, an ornate convex mirror reflects the rest of the room, and, in a manner reminiscent of Van Eyck's Arnolfini marriage or Velázquez's Las Meninas, we can catch a glimpse of Harvey himself painting at his easel. 2 years later, another son was born, and Harvey returned in 1920 to paint the 3-year-old James Jr. The small roundel captures the child's charm and appeal, although there is a hint in his expression that his tolerance of keeping still may be running out. Both Paul and James followed in their father's footsteps, entering the legal profession, and James was working in his father's office at the outbreak of World War II. He served as a flying officer in the RAF, but was killed when his plane crashed into the North Sea in October 1940. In 1948, Paul became the second husband of Betty, the daughter of Colonel Painter, owner of the Bosquena estate at Lamorna. The couple led a somewhat racy life, which ended sadly when in 1979 Paul shot and killed his wife's much younger lover. He was cleared of murder by a jury on the grounds that he acted in self-defence. 6 years later, his body was retrieved from Penzance Harbour. Laura lived to the grand age of 97. She never married, but became headmistress of the progressive Rosa Bassett School for Girls in South London.